सौरभ भारद्वाज, आपने
Yes.
अभी रोहित राजपाल की कहानी सुनी, and this
Right.
is across, this is nothing to do with which party you belong to, how famous you are, how many people you know, or who all you can call. In the way the whole system collapsed, you were in the ruling party, in the government, and yet you're sending out these desperate messages, pleading and begging for oxygen. Why don't you tell us your story of coming back from the brink, sir?
Rahul, I think every day, I change my logic. Like, what advice should I give to people regarding COVID? Because every new experience I get, or I get to hear from people, I change my advice, and I think no, this is so. There are very general things we can say about COVID, and there are too many exceptions to all the examples. And I think, for example, I'm alive. Rohit is alive. And when we talk about our stories, sometimes I feel that, uh, it's nothing about me, that I made it. It is just a chance that I made it. And I think uh, all the people who experience Corona during a particular window, for example, in Delhi, I can say the window could be somewhere like 15th or 16th of April to, let's say, 5th of May. That was a very desperate time when the bed availability was low because a lot of people were suffering from COVID. Oxygen availability was low. A lot of people wanted oxygen, which we were not getting. And I think if you fall sick during that window, you are really unlucky because you will scramble for anything and everything. You will scramble for hospital bed, you will scramble for medicines, remdesivir injections, you will scramble for oxygen. And when I tell the story that, I came alive, sometimes I feel that, it's not right to brag about my story because a lot of people, lost their loved ones. And sometimes I feel that, this is not much. I feel they'll feel sad that they lost their loved ones. A lot of people lost their parents. A lot of people lost their sole bread earner in the family. And I think, like Rohit explained, when you are gasping for oxygen, so basically oxygen is something, which gives you life. It is something which is keeping you alive. And the moment that oxygen supply starts coming down, because your lungs are not able to pull enough oxygen from the normal air, because normal air has oxygen, but your lungs lose that capacity to pull it. You need external source of oxygen, and that is life. And you gasp for oxygen. And when you don't get oxygen, you start, you can feel that, you are coming near being a non-living entity. And when you enter a place called ICU, it is a very strange experience for somebody who has never been to a hospital because there are a lot of patients around. There is a lot of beeping sound. The whole day and night, the lights are on. The nurses, the doctors, you can always hear them because they are always attending one patient on the other. You don't see your neighbors, but you hear about. For example, I had a neighbor. She was some auntie. I could always hear her voice for 1.5 days, and after 1.5 days, nurse got saying that ये 69 वाली body को हटा दो, 69 वाली dead body क्यों नहीं हटाया, जल्दी हटाओ. So you are in a kind of a shock that you have been hearing a lady, and I think because you were hearing her, that means she was quite well. And one day, the next day, she is a dead body. And Rahul, very strange. And the most dangerous aspect about this strain of corona, this second wave of corona, is its unpredictability. We, in this 2021, are used to predictable things in our lives, everything, whether it's a metro, whether it's our office time, everything, we have kind of planned everything around our lives. We cannot deal with unpredictability. And this virus is so unpredictable that you don't know how it will affect you. And we as humans, we always believe in a best case scenario. So I was healthy, I was young, I didn't have diabetes, hypertension, I used to go and exercise in the gym. So I thought I'm not the one, who will be affected with corona. I thought I'll get. No, I've been waiting for corona. I was under the illusion that if I'll get corona, everybody has to get corona. So I'll get corona. I'll get sick for 5 days. I'll have, some cough, some fever. Then I'll be okay. So I didn't expect that this corona can get into your lungs. And from the common knowledge which I had from various WhatsApp information, or you read from newspapers, was that it doesn't affect people like me. And the only notion I had was, if your oxygen comes down, then only you need oxygen, you need hospitalization. I did not know that if your fever is not coming down, you are in a high fever for 6-7 days, you have to go to the hospital, and you should now think about it. So I think I was sheer lucky that my family was in contact with Atishi, and Atishi was smart enough to tell my family that this is the time we should go to the hospital. And I've been, just delaying it. I was thinking, नहीं मेरे को hospital नहीं जाना, कल देखेंगे. And next day, I again had a high fever, and I said, okay, मैं hospital जाता हूँ, मैं test कराऊंगा, test करा के आ जाऊंगा. And मैं खुद अकेला एम्बुलेंस के अंदर बैठ के शेव वेव करके गया. And I was feeling कि मैं क्यों एम्बुलेंस में जा रहा हूँ यार, but because I didn't want anybody to take along with me, because I was positive, my brother was not positive, so I thought कि मैं चला जाता हूँ. And the day I landed in the hospital, they did run some blood tests and CT scan. They said it's very bad. And from that day itself, in the evening, oxygen started falling. And I didn't know that it was so bad, because doctors were not telling me it's so bad. But when I saw Twitter, and when I see some WhatsApp messages coming from friends who spoke to probably somebody else, who spoke to my doctor, they said, probably you are dying. And I was in a shock, because I myself never believed that, I'll die of corona. I always believed, whenever I was in ICU also, I thought, I'll not die with corona. Yaar. Corona se koi na marunga. So, but it's a very strange experience. And